Welcome back, everybody. Mike here, Lake Steel Farm. Y'all can see we're in the garage today. Gonna do some maintenance on the old. Hey, everybody, this is our 2023 Honda Pioneer 700 4th edition. We're gonna be changing the oil on it today. As you can see, we'll be working right down in there, and we'll also check the air filter and everything, see what's going on with that. Just gonna do it with simple tools. Things you'll need is Honda Genuine 10W30 oil. That's just the leftover quart. I have another gallon there. The oil filter, there's the part number if you're needing it. I like using these measuring cups. You can get them cheap at a farm store. For usually they're for spray and stuff, but you can always use them, be more accurate. A funnel, a regular 3/8 drive ratchet, a 10mm, a 12mm, and a 17mm. So let's get started. Oh, and some used rags. I always have to have used rags. Get down here. Right there is your oil drain plug. I don't know if you can see it or not. My hand's probably in the way. There's your oil drain plug. To have access to it, we need to take off this access panel. It's I'll show you right up there. It's 4 10mm bolts. Take those out and then we'll start draining the oil. I did let the engine warm up. So the oil will drain easier. And also an oil pan. I figured that was common sense, but just thought I'd state that fact. So you use a 10mm on these 4 bolts here. Loosen them up pretty good. Be sure to get all our bolts so we don't lose any. Push up on the cover and it slides right off. Gives us great access to our oil plug, which is oil drain plug, which is, sorry, tripod's not working with me. Right there, that's your drain plug. Do not take that loose or that loose. It's the big plug. It's 17mm. Let's see if I can get y'all set up down here. A good spot. Grab our 17mm. Also, make sure your vent is open on your drain pan. I've seen a lot of people mess up with that. Just cracks loose real quick like that. Position your drain pan. Pull out your drain bolt. Now you notice this is a special drain bolt. Be wary of that O-ring there. Try not to smash it or crush it or anything. Just wipe it off, clean it off, and we'll have it ready to go back in to be reinstalled. As you can tell, it's pretty dirty. I think the maintenance on this is oil change every 100 hours is what they suggest. I just go by when the wrench pops up on the menu, and we'll address that here when we reset the maintenance minder on the unit itself. So we'll just wait for that to quit draining, and we'll put this back in there and get back with you. This unit does have while we're down here waiting, this unit does have, I think it's 326 hours on it, so like 1,800 miles is I think what's on here. We do use it a lot of short trips and whatnot, so always follow your Honda maintenance on it. And if we have time today, we will address the final gear differential fluid and see how that looks, and the front differential fluid as well. It's starting to dribble now, so we're good to go. Go ahead and get that back up in there, hand tight. Do a little wipe action. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. You don't need to gorilla tighten it, just I get it snug and just like 1/8 of the turn. That's it. Let's make sure everything's cleaned off. We'll go ahead and get back our 10mm and reinstall this cover. Access cover. Flipped around there. Should go something like that. These bolts do have a shoulder on them, so it is self-aligning, if people are wondering. But I always start with two, one in each corner. This makes it easier. Let's get these all hand started. And then we'll just snug them up. It's just holding a little access cover. It's nothing integral, so don't gorilla tighten it down. Because it's just those little clips on that little piece of plastic here on this. Don't want to break in. We'll move our full pan up to the other access hole, and we'll start on our oil filter. So we'll come up top here, just a seat, pops right off. You have two dust covers, one here and one passenger side. Driver's side, there's your oil fill plug right there. We'll be needing that here in a minute. When we come by, we'll get our 12 millimeter socket, which is right here. Underneath this dust cover here, take it off. I got a little light here. I don't know if y'all see this much, but right there, that light shining on that little nut or bolt, that's your oil filter right there. And we gotta be careful when we take it off. I'll try to get you good film of it, but more than likely my hands are gonna be in the way. But there is a spring in there and the filter, so don't lose the spring, okay? All right, let's get at it. Yeah, it's just too dark. Stand by. Y'all can look at me. Like I said, this is a pretty simple process. Just make sure you got your oil pan down there. I don't loosen it all the way. Well, one extra tool we'll need, I'll go get it. Also need a flathead screwdriver. The reason we don't take it all the way out, the bolt all the way out, is because when we put this flathead screwdriver in there, we just pry at the edge with it. Just stick it down in there and twist your screwdriver. There's little prongs on the edge here, and that way it breaks the seal without everything flying out. Because you don't want to lose your spring. I've dropped one before. It can be somewhat aggravating. We got that loosened. I'll let y'all see that. See how it's loosened, and along that edge there, I just stuck my screwdriver in there just to twist it to break that seal. Now I'll have to put this on my head so I can see. Got my hands. I have a towel ready. It feels like the bolt takes forever, but then it just all comes at once. Stick our screwdriver back down in there. Twist. Don't get the O-ring. Comes up all at once. That's how it goes in there. Special way filter. Right here, your spring, then your cover. I'll have to get this underneath the other oil pan here. One sec. I always have some old rags you don't mind getting oil on the farm. They come in handy. So like I was telling you, you have your filter here. That's your long bolt. Your spring goes on, and then your cover. Okay? There's an O-ring here and an O-ring here. When you're prying that, make sure you don't, I go in between here and here and don't get the O-ring. Alright, so let's go get our new filter. It just comes with the filter, so I've changed the oil in this thing 3 or 4 times. They say at 20 hours and then every 100 hours. So I guess this is our 3rd change. When you get your oil filter, it just comes with the oil filter itself. I haven't had no issues with the O-rings, so I haven't changed them. There hadn't been a need to for me. Let's lay that right there. Wipe this all off. Try to get as much of that old oil out of there as you can. This gives you lets you inspect it too. But I haven't had any leaking of the O-rings. If I did, I would just replace it with a new O-ring is all. And I'm sure you can get that from Honda, or you can just go to a regular farm store and get those. So we will put our spring and then our filter on. I believe it does have a certain, oh, and there's this right here too. Let's look in the book. So as you can clearly see, that's why I like Honda. They give you illustrations, just in case you forget. So oil filter, washer, spring, then your cap. So see, I almost messed up there. So oil filter, metallic washer, spring. This just slides right down on there. I'm going to take and wipe that cavity out. As best I can. Yep, clean. Then this all just slides right back up in there. I would re-lube the O-ring, but it's still lubricated with the other old oil, so it's in good shape. So be sure you can do that with it. We'll set this back in place and get the bolt started. Get it started by hand. I don't knock the wrench off. Y'all can see something. Now you'll feel it start getting tight, which is good. And you'll feel it stop. All right. And once I feel it stop, I just go just 1/8 of a turn. Just so we got it all sealed up in there. Y'all can see that's what it should look like in the end. I'll set you up and we'll start filling her full. So let's get you set up here. Better spot. So we're just gonna be putting oil directly into there. Hopefully that's a good view. Everything. Taking out the cap. This thing does vacuum lock. There you go. our book it says 3.1 quarts. I always start with 3. Here's a neat trick to keep stuff out of getting in your funnel. Always put the towel back in there. So when you pull it back out, it's just as clean as it was before. We'll wipe this out. Always try to be as clean as possible with your oil changing stuff. You don't want any contaminants getting into your engine. So this goes all up to the US quarts. I just use it because if you use the side of the jug, you can get close, but you won't be accurate. I'd rather be accurate. So we'll start with 3 full quarts and check it and go from there. But always use what oil is recommended by the manufacturer. So they recommend you can use as long as it's somewhat qualified through certain standards, but I always just use, you know, Honda oil for Honda, Motorcraft for Ford. With these metal things right here, these can be an issue if you just cut it and leave it on there. People pull right out of this and it falls right down their engine. I've seen it happen, so I cut it 3/4 of the way around. Just peel it off, set it off to the side. That way nothing accidentally happens. So that's quart number 1 right here. You kind of have to hold this funnel up because this oil is a little slow, and where they got it, where it drains in there, it's like a 90-degree over to a rubber fill hose. So you gotta keep an eye, because if you can pour it too fast, it'll come out the top of the overflow, or you're filling it. So just be cautious. Try not to make a mess. All right, that all done. We will set that aside, put our cap back on our oil, take a rag, like that, put our cap back on. Just like that. Just like that. Now your oil check is this dipstick right here. So we'll go ahead and turn the key on. And seeing any leaks down here. So we're good to go. I'll turn it off. Put you on a good spot here again, and then we'll pull the dipstick and check. Dipstick twist in. You'll pull it all the way out, wipe it off. It needs to be between these two lines right here, preferably right in the middle. Stick it back in, tighten it all the way back down. All right, loosen it back up. Pull it up, and we're right there in the middle. Good to go. That's how you change your oil on your Honda Pioneer 700. Or I'm sure you could probably do the same thing for Pioneer 1000. Basically the same engine, same thing, just a bigger engine. That done. Now we're going to try to move on to the final rear differential gear. And pause right here 1 second. All right, everybody, we're back. I went ahead and cleaned everything out and got everything back up. So for the final rear differential, you'll need 80/90. It's gotta meet GL5 requirements. I got this little suction pump to make this a whole lot easier, hopefully. Here's your your check/fill. I done loosened it up. It's a 17 millimeter. And underneath here, I don't know if you can see that or not, is the drain. And I've loosened it up. It's a 10 millimeter. So all we do is just back that out. It's got a washer on it. Try not to make a mess. And then open the fuel port. It's got an O-ring there. Don't see no issues or anything. Oil looks pretty good shape. Like I said, it's just 300 hours. They say check it. I said, well, I might as well just while I'm down here, go ahead and change it for $13 for a quart of oil. It is. It's worth it. So we'll wait for this to drain. It says it takes 20 some ounces. We'll put that, I'll come back with you when we're ready to put all that in and go from there. Turns out our little pump didn't work. So we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. One thing good, a depth funnel ever comes in handy for us, tight spaces. If y'all are seeing much. We're going to pour this in here until it starts coming out the fuel check valve. There we go. I'll clean this up. So there's some maintenance tips on your Honda Pioneer. If y'all have any questions, just comment below, like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed day.